Hello dear students, welcome you all to the 41st lecture of rural marketing. And today's topic of discussions are cooperative credit societies, its type, structure, and cooperative marketing development in India. So in previous lecture already we have learned a lot about cooperative credit societies. So let's quickly do a revision what are cooperative credit societies. So, under the provision of Section 5 CCII for Banking Regulatory Act 1949, a cooperative credit society is defined as the cooperative society, the primary objective of which is to provide the financial accommodation to its members and includes a cooperative land mortgage bank. So basically its purpose is to give financial assistance or financial help to its members. The objective of forming cooperative credit society is to provide loan to the members at a reasonable rate of interest and develop a habit of thrift among the members. So basically, the objective is to make a habit of savings and to give a loan to its member at a reasonable interest rate. These societies accept deposits from the members and it provides loans to members at a reasonable interest rate, and the formalities are such very simple for loan and all in compared to bank loans. So they give two types of credit basically. First one is agriculture credit and another one is non-agriculture credit. So agriculture credit is given to the societies which are formed in villages, and those kind of loans are given for the agriculture purpose and rural artisans, like for handicraft people who are involved in handicraft or weaving or pottery. To those kind of occupation are funded by agriculture credit. Second one is your non-agriculture credit. So basically those kind of loans are provided to the people who are living in urban and semi-urban areas. So these kind of loans are given for the people who are busy in secondary and tertiary activities. The structure of cooperative societies in India is a three-tier structure according to Reserve Bank of India. The nature of cooperative credit system in India is primarily maintained to ensure flow of credit to the agriculture sector. It comprises short-term as well as long-term credit structure. Short-term credit structure operates in three tiers like primary agriculture, secondary or straight level we will say, and the uppermost tier which is state cooperative banks organization at state level. Okay, so village level, district level and state level. So primary agriculture cooperative credit societies, these are outside the purview of the Banking Regulation Act 1949 and hence it is not regulated by the Reserve Bank of India, whereas state cooperative banks organization and this district level organizations are registered under the provision of State Cooperative Society Act of state, and they are regulated by Reserve Bank of India, and the power has been delegated to NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, under Section 35(6) of Banking Regulation Act to conduct inspect of state and central cooperative banks. Okay, so three level structure is there. Lowest level tier are the primary agriculture cooperative societies which are organized at village level. Second tier central cooperative banks organized at district level, and third is the uppermost state level. So this one the village level one is not regulated by RBI, whereas these two are regulated by RBI, and NABARD has given the authority to make policies, planning and operation in field of agriculture credit. A lot of things we have already discussed about NABARD, so we are not going in detail in this lecture. Primary cooperative banks, also referred to urban cooperative banks, and cater the financial needs of the customers in urban and semi-urban areas, whereas UCBs are primarily registered as cooperative societies under the provision of either State Cooperative Society Act of State concerned or Multi-State Cooperative Society Act 2002. Next topic of discussion is cooperative marketing. According to K.R. Kulkarni, a cooperative marketing is the marketing for the producers and by the producers that aims to eliminate the chain of middlemen operating between producers and the ultimate consumers and thus securing the maximum price for their products. So basically, cooperative marketing societies are to eliminate middlemen, okay, and to um, take producer and ultimate customer closer to maximize the price of the product. In other words, cooperative marketing societies are established for the purpose of collectively marketing the products of member producers. Okay. Cooperative marketing evaluation, how it um, works in India, we will see. So, evolution of cooperative marketing is as old as Cooperative Societies Act 1912, which recognized non-credit forms of cooperation, including marketing. So, from 1912, this cooperative marketing concept started, and first marketing society started in India was Kumbakonam Agriculture Society in 1913, which supports the supply of seeds, manures, implements and arrangement of the sale of products of its members. Okay, so their work is to do marketing of seeds, manure for its members. In the year 1915 and 1917, two other marketing cooperative societies came, in one in Hubli and another one is Gades, respectively. And the basic objective was to encourage and the cultivation and improve cotton and sell it collectively. In 1918, South Canara Plantation Cooperative Society was formed, and in Maharashtra, in Madras, and this is for areca nuts. In 1958, areca nuts is a commodity. Okay, it's a product, agriculture product. In 1958, the National Agriculture Cooperative Marketing Federation came into the power as an apex body for cooperative marketing. And then further in 1963, the National Cooperative Development Corporation was established for the promotion of programs related to processing, storage, packaging, marketing of rural products through cooperative market. So 1963 was an important year in cooperative marketing. In 1968, the RBI recognized the link of credit with marketing as a necessity step for development of the agriculture marketing. So this is how the cooperative marketing started in India, and it got developed with the time. So this is all for today's lecture. And today, just we will do a quick revision. We have learned about what are cooperative credit societies, where we have seen that now these are the cooperative societies which provides financial accommodation to its members, and they accept the deposits from the members and they provide loan to its members, and interest rates are quite reasonable, and the formalities are very simple in compared to other bank loans. They give two types of loan: agriculture credit and non-agriculture credit. Agriculture credits are for villages and rural population who are involved in agriculture, and rural artists, they give agriculture credit, and non-agriculture credit is for people who are living in urban areas. And credit societies are of T level we have learned primary level society works at village level. Second tier is central cooperative banks, they work at district level, and uppermost is the state cooperative bank that works in state level. And from July 1982, NABARD has been designated as Apex Institute for Policy Making, Planning and Operation in the field of agriculture credit. Next, we have learned what is cooperative marketing. So basically, it is a kind of it is an activity which eliminates the middlemen and it takes producers and consumers closer. Then we have learned how this cooperative marketing has emerged from 1912 till 1968 when RBI recognized the links of credit with the marketing. So this is all for today's lecture. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any confusion, you can ping me on WhatsApp. I will solve your query there. Thank you.